I'm Susie Howells and I'm playing Miss Polly Peacham.
And I'm Pete Rowe, I'm the Artistic Director of the Wolsey Theatre and Co-Director of Threepenny Opera.
And I'm Will Kenning and I'm playing Tiger Brown.
Just tell me a little bit about your individual roles.
So I play the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Peacham. My father runs the Beggars of London. I fall in love with a guy called Mac and decide to marry him after only knowing him for 5 days. A bit of a rebel, discover a lot about him, stuff that I don't really want to know about him. Get broken-hearted. That's pretty much your basic life story.
And Will?
And I'm playing Tiger Brown, who's the chief of police. And we learn very quickly that he's a bit of a bent copper. He's best friends with the lead character, Mac Heath. They fought together in India. And then it transpires that they're in cahoots and he's taking a share of all Mac Heath's dark and dastardly dealings. And there's a tension by the end of whether or not he's going to save his best friend from the noose.
And Peter, I mean, this is a piece of work, I mean, this is relevant today as it was when it was first written all those years ago. So, why resurrect it, and why did you think it was a great fit for the Wolsey?
Well, I think it's fantastic music. It's a really, really great score. And because it's, they say at the beginning, this is an opera for beggars, for beggars and delivered by beggars, really. So it's a kind of beggar's eye view of the world, and a view of the world which is full of kind of dark humour and really bitter and cynical, and this is the way the world really is. Which is probably why it feels like a show for our times. So everybody in the story is out in the end out for what they can get. Everybody betrays everybody else. Just about everybody is corrupt. Love doesn't last for long. It's a fantastically optimistic view of the world, but it's delivered with an extraordinary amount of kind of exhilaration and panache and fantastic songs and great gags and a lot of humour. So it's this really nice kind of bittersweet feel to the show.
And the first part of the run went very well.
It did. It was an experience both for audience and cast, I think, just because it's not a usual night out at the theatre, so we both learnt as much from each other, I think, which is an excellent time to take it to the Wolsey, because we come with 3 weeks under our belt, and we've certainly, it's an evolving show, much more than anything I've ever been a part of before, because it's such an epic piece. It's not just a sort of, drawing room with the first half and the second half. It's like I say, it's epic, and so hopefully we're in really good shape to bring it to Ipswich.
And obviously, Will, CC, no stranger to the Wolsey. Will, you were here as the Dame, not last year but the year before.
That's right.
And obviously, CC, you were here last year in Dick Whittington. Obviously, much nice to be in normal clothes as opposed to a dress and a cat's.
I wouldn't really call my outfits normal, but
You've probably got more costume changes in this than you have in Panto.
yeah. I felt like Panto was more my style, but
It's probably easy to get around in a cat costume than your wedding dress as well.
my wedding dress weighs a ton.
Although I am missing my pair of comedy large breasts. I'll have to save that for.
I think we've got enough breasts in the show.
maybe final night, just something different.
Although, if you come and see the show, there is a large element of pantomime something, maybe.
Right, bit of a tease.
Come and see whether that's true or not.
And also, it's a great cast, a very integrated cast of both able and disabled actors, and obviously working with Grey Eye. What's that been like?
Well, I found it a massive learning experience, and it's so nice to meet so many different people from different walks of life. I've learned a lot, and I've never been involved in a cast that's so ridiculously positive all the time, and it's so nice to be around people who are positive, especially when you're doing such a dark show, that it's quite nice to have that contrast. So.
And Pete, obviously there's some challenges, obviously, sort of, I'm guessing, sort of involved in a show, or any show. Were there any extra additional ones, given the nature of this show?
I think the main thing that we all have to remember is to make sure that everybody is included all the time in the communication. So No, there's a lot of BSL interpretations, some fantastically skilled interpreters on stage in amongst the cast. There's a big part of the cast actually. And you have to remember that if you say to a blind actress, could you go over there, they don't understand what you mean, so you have to describe things in different ways. But I think we've all learned through the process how to do that, and I think the extraordinary thing is that benefits everybody, that there's a way in which having to explain things that carefully makes everybody think more deeply about what they're doing, what their character's doing, and bonds the company together in a really positive, strong way.
And obviously sort of the theatre is known for, kind of, sort of for leading the way in access to shows as well, in terms of its caption performances and so on.
Yeah, I mean this is different in that all of those access means are incorporated into the show itself. So it's not a show with captioning. The signing and the audio description and the captioning of the show are all integral to the form of the show itself.
And just lastly, any particular part that you're all looking forward to do, without giving anything away? But
it's all a lot of fun. It's the kind of show that by the time you get to the end, you can't quite believe it's all changed so much. And then when you today, for example, it's a 2-show day, so to go back to the beginning, it feels like a long, long way away. All I can say is, if you're not there for the last 5 minutes, you're going to miss a treat.
Yeah, definitely.